Hi everyone, you are listening to YachtFemme on Yachting International Radio, where we discuss women in yachting. Welcome to YachtFemme, where we talk about the women that make the yachting industry. I'm your host, Andrea Tagliaferro. Learn who they are, how they got into yachting, and what they do today. Marcela is a Monaco resident and owner of Onboard Consulting in Monaco. She specializes in corporate strategies for yachting companies. She has done the business development for Icon Yachts Shipyard in the Netherlands, founder of YBY Monaco, an active member of the yachting industry, owns her own sailboat, and if you follow her on Instagram, she's always on the water. She's currently developing a new superyacht hub, writing the first textbook in yachting, and always keeping busy. Hi everyone, super excited for another episode of YachtFemme. I am here with Marcela. I'm such a fan of Marcela. I was dragging her and after her to get on Yachting, and I finally got on the platform. I have so much admiration for what she does. She also comes from a Latin background, so it's just like, please, make it, and she represents us so well. So this is Marcela. Hi, Marcela. Thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. Always so much fun.
So, Marcela, for those in the yachting industry or those that aren't in the yachting industry and don't know you, can you share who you are? What do you do in yachting? A little bit of what is your background?
Right. So my name is Marcela. I was born in Guatemala, but I've been a Monaco resident for over 7 years now. And I've been in Europe for over 15 years. I am a business consultant. I do the corporate strategy for companies in the yachting sector mainly. And I have my own consulting company called Onboard here in Monaco. And yeah, I help basically companies achieve their goals and their objectives. And then I follow them through all the process and I work in different projects.
Super cool. That's actually how we met. For the longest time, she had this big client, Icon Yachts, and that's how we got to meet. Can you tell us your story? I know you've given this in so many interviews, but just tell us, how was it that you ended up in the yachting industry?
Right. So I think like everybody else, nobody chose yachting. Yachting, it just happened by chance. So I was studying at the International University in Monaco. I was doing my undergrad in Bachelor of Science in Finance. And then every business student, I was completely brainwashed that, finance was the only job you could go to. So then I was working at Merrill Lynch in Monaco. And then 2008 hit, so it was big financial crisis. And then Merrill Lynch actually got bought by Bank of America. So then I was looking for a job. And then here in Monaco, there's not too many industries, like either you're in hospitality, working for SBM, like the big hotels, or you are in private banking or yachting. And then there was a company in Antibes selling underwater lights. And then they actually needed somebody just for the languages. They wanted somebody that speaks French because the office was in Antibes. And then they needed somebody that speaks Italian so they could, go and sell to the shipyards. And then English, of course. So I was kind of like in between Fort Lauderdale, Antibes, and Italy, and then the rest of the world. So I started my yachting career actually selling underwater lights and selling LED lights. Something that nobody needs, that it didn't exist. People didn't know what underwater light is. And it was such a big challenge when I was trying to tell people you need to open a hole in the hull, then we just you are crazy. So, nowadays there's a million of underwater lights companies. Now every yacht in the world has it. And then when I look at the port here and I see all of the lights, I just wish I could go back in time to my past self and then tell me it's going to be okay in the future.
It will happen. Everybody wants this. So if you didn't catch that, she needed to know 3 languages to land her first gig in yachting because it's so international. But really, how many languages do you speak?
I speak Spanish, English, French, Italian, Portuguese, and I'm married to a German. So I also speak a little bit of German.
There you go. So humbly, that's it. You also in your studies had a very international background, which of course has, I think, and I'm assuming here, has helped you in your success in the yachting industry, because when we come together at these shows, we have people from all over. Can you tell us a little bit about that international background?
Yes. So, I mean, I was born in Guatemala, but my dad is American and my grandparents are French. My name is Voyer, very French. And I was actually, I studied in the US in my high school, and I had a very international upbringing. And then my universities, I studied in Monaco, in Miami, Boston, Dubai, and London. And one of the reasons I chose Holt Business School to do my MBA is because it's the most international school in the world and it has campuses all over the world. And then after having my work experience, I realized that it's not who you know or what you know, but it's all about cultural sensitivity. And I was in big boardrooms with Italians and with the Germans and with Brazilians. And then, having the cultural sensitivity was a big deal. And I wanted to learn how to do business in different cultures. So that actually became my passion. And during my MBA, like I said, I studied in Boston, Dubai, London, but it was like, there was, I don't know how many nationalities per class, but there was not more than 2 people of the same nationality. So you were actually do a lot of team building with like people that you don't agree with. And then believe me, getting a consensus between like a Brazilian and Indian and a Norwegian is like a challenge. And then, but this helped me a lot in real life because, at Icon Yachts, we did a partnership with Sunseeker. And then the CEO of Sunseeker is an Italian. And then, having like a meeting with an Italian and the English and the Dutch, it was not a problem of getting to
Understand.
it was just like it was a cultural clash. So I was there kind of like the, you know, translator, cultural translator,
Cultural translator.
managing egos and managing expectations. And then I understood, I'm able to read between the lines to see what they really think and what they really want. Because, the British, they're always like beating around the bush. And then Dutch people hate that because Dutch are super blunt and super direct. So there's a lot of experiences that I've been gaining. I have the honor to be sitting down with the royal families of Bahrain, of Saudi, of Dubai. I've been with, the Russian oligarchs, and then, I've been with like Chinese and Asian millionaires and billionaires. So I've had the pleasure to sit down and do business with all these different cultures. So I've learned really a lot about how to do, business with the different je ne sais quoi.
That's great. I love that you said that because one of my passions when I started doing my travel blog was that I found that a lot of people would get to a place and experience and be able to just translate word for word, but they were missing so much because they weren't able to translate what they were expecting, what the culture of like, why are they doing this? How can I get around it? How can I actually have an integrated experience? So I think that's amazing. And also the fact that you have a niche. It's not only a cultural interpretation, it's a cultural interpretation at the business level, at a high luxury level, which is a completely different vocabulary from another industry. It's very focused and it's amazing. You've been in the industry now for 12 years. What changes have you seen, positive or negative? What have you seen aside from the underwater lights, which I'm sure was awesome for you? What else have you seen change?
So I saw a trend that everybody wanted to go bigger and they wanted bigger yachts, and then they realized that it's actually very unpractical, because you cannot go to ports, and it was kind of like a race of who has the biggest yacht, and then they realized it was a stupid race, a very expensive one. So I've seen yachts going from really big to really small.
And sorry, before you go on, what is big and what is small for those that don't know that?
Right. So I actually just started the Super Yacht Academy at the Yacht Club of Monaco, and we do a course, and then the first class is what is a yacht, and the different sizes. There are different types of hulls and different types of production styles. Anyways, so a boat is up to 24 meters. I don't know that in feet for your American audience. And I think it's 100 feet maybe. And then basically the difference between a boat and a yacht is that a yacht has crew. So if you need crew, then it's a yacht. If you can, cruise it yourself and you don't need any help, then that's a boat. So I specialize in yachts over 50 meters. So that is my niche inside this niche. And I specialize in anything between 50 meter, let's say, to 90 meter. And then before, everybody was in the 40-50 meter size range, and everybody wanted to upgrade to the 60 meter. And then there was a big trend of the 80 meter and the 100 meter plus. There's only about 150 yachts of over 80 meters, so there's not a lot of giga yachts.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, there was definitely a boom of everybody wanted the 100-meter plus yacht, and now I see that they are back into the more manageable size, like around 60 meters.
Hmm. Interesting. When we were building a yacht back in Florida, one of the things that the owner, of course, wanted all these amazing things and all these features of the boat, but he didn't want to go over a certain size because he wanted, he had a cap on how many crew he wanted on board,
Right.
because he really wanted to use it as a second home. And he's like, if I need more than it, I don't remember the number. It was small. It was like, I don't want more than 6 crew. That's
Yeah.
counting the captain. That will be the end for me.
Yeah.
So
Actually, also in teams productivity, it has 6 is kind of like the max. Like if you have a marketing team or whatever, or if you want like really efficient things to happen, it has to be less than 6. More than 6, it becomes too much drama and it goes out of hand. So 6 is like the magic team number.
oh, well, good to know. A question: during the pandemic, we've seen, of course, many changes. I'm in New York, here in Monaco, but a lot of people have streamlined their productivity and their production, and a lot of positive new restructuring we have seen. So what changes have you done for yourself in your business that you're forced because of the pandemic, and which ones of those are so positive that even when we leave the pandemic, you will continue doing them?
All right. So from a personal side, um, I changed who I am. I'm like 2 different people because I used to live on a plane. So I was working in the Netherlands from Monday to Thursday, and then I would be in Monaco the weekends. But because I was always traveling, doing all of the boat shows all over the world, I was literally living on planes. And then not traveling for 3 months, like I am seriously like a new human being, really. Like I am just like, and then I started having a morning routine, which I never had. My life was super stressful. Early alarms, catching flights, catching a taxi, going to meetings and tubes and underground and
Mm-hmm.
And now I have like a really good morning routine. So I wake up and then I do some meditation, then I do sports, and then I take a very cold shower. And these little things have actually like boost my productivity levels, and I just feel like I'm riding like this wave of things just happening super good, and me being rested and me being super, just like I start the morning good, and then I fast, meaning that I don't eat until like 1 or 2 o'clock, and then the mornings I'm just super super productive. So I would love to continue my morning routines, and I think yeah, that actually really really changed, and affecting my personal, but it also affects my professional life. In terms of business, having virtual calls. Yesterday I was on a phone call with in an interview with Ocean Co, the big
Mm-hmm.
ship in the Netherlands. And then I asked him the same question, and he says that actually, in terms of output and efficiency, they are more efficient now doing home office than working in the shipyard, because he was against home office forever. Like people will
Mm-hmm.
ask, like, "Can I work from home today?" And he would be like, the grin, and he would be like, "No, like we're building a shipyard here. You need to be here." But actually, having like a Monday morning team meeting where everybody kind of has like a very short moment to just say what they're working on and what are they doing and what are the tasks for this week, just increases productivity, because the problem at the big shipyard is that nobody knows who's doing what. Everybody assumes somebody else did it, so there's a lot of mistakes and a lot of error, because you're just like, oh well, I thought you were doing it. And then
Mm-hmm.
people don't talk because they're all in their silos and they're all in their bubbles and they're so busy and so stressed. So having like these Monday morning calls that everybody knows who's doing what, and then they have like this meeting minutes. So even if it's like a director meeting, all of the minutes go to everybody, so everybody actually knows what's going on. And also it's more accountability, because then next Monday you have to say, well, what did you achieve last week, right? And then if the tasks you wanted last week have been achieved. So actually, in terms of productivity and efficiency, um, smart working is more and more efficient.
Yeah, I do love that a lot of people that were against the working from home. I've worked from home for so many years, because it also as a consultant, I only had to be at the shipyard if I actually wanted to, but I liked the environment. So I was there most of the time. But I'm so used to, you have to make your own structure. You have to make your own morning routine and get yourself ready for the day. Because if not, everything feels like you're always playing catch up. And I love having my morning routine. When I don't, I literally feel like I'm like behind something and it's never in my control.
Yeah.
That's for me what I feel. So can you give us a scoop and tell us what projects are you currently working on?
So right now I am developing a new super yacht hub in Genoa. So I'm working with two big companies. There are families they're really big in yachting. So it's the Amico family who own Amico & Co., which is the biggest refit shipyard in Italy and one of the best ones in the Mediterranean. And then Pesto Sea Group, which are the biggest yacht agents. And they are agents in Italy, but they also, Pesto Sea Group owns Marina Monovecchio, which is the marina in the center of town in Genoa. So together we're going to restructure everything, and there's a lot of investments and a lot of new projects that we're working on making Genoa a new super yacht hub. So we're going to build an entire crew village around it. So providing all of the services. So in the winter, yachts can come there, you know, and it can be like a winter hub spot. So yeah.
So to get to know you a little bit more, can you tell us something that we wouldn't know normally about you? A hobby, a passion, an interest? By the way, before she answers, she's super active on Instagram, really sharing her lifestyle. So make sure to follow her. We will have all her links so you can follow everything on all her social media platforms because she is active on a diverse of them. So I don't want you to miss out. But continue, Marcela.
I was gonna say, like, my hobby is my blog. So yeah, I mean, I'm a business consultant, and then how it all started was because I was traveling so much around the world, and then I was always posting like my travel tips because I lived on a plane, and then I was posting about yachts and about how the yachts are being built, and people just loved it, and they were asking for more and more, and then yeah, and then there were subjects that the media was not touching, that, you know, I was speaking with yacht owners and brokers, and they were asking me stuff, and then I thought, well, I'll just put it down and I'll share it to you. And then everybody was just asking me like, oh, I'm going to, you know, Saint Tropez, where should I go? I'm going to Monaco, where should we go? Where are the best places to have lunch? And I was just like, instead of repeating myself all the time, I'm just gonna put like a blog where people can just go. So it's like an inner circle of like recommendations and stuff like this. So then this is how I started. So it started as a hobby, and now it's just booming and it's great. But yeah, but I mean, I am also a professor at the International University of Monaco, where I teach a master's in luxury goods, and there we have a specialization in yachting. So I have 60 students this cluster, and it's super exciting. It's really nice. And then we teach everything, you know, about yachting and luxury marketing. And then on the weekends, I'm also teaching at the yacht club. We're doing corporate trainings for CEOs, but I'm also doing the Super Yacht Academy, which is a new academy where, you know, new brokers or new people in the industry that want to understand the entire industry from a 360 point of view can understand, you know, who are the shipyards, who are the designers, vocabulary. So I do all of the yachting terminology, and yeah, basically basics on naval architecture, basics on engineer. What do you need to know? What is stability, port side, starboard, you know, how to, the difference between like gross tonnage and volumes and stuff like this, just like the basics that everybody in yachting should know. So yeah, so then I literally from now until December, I'm working every evening on my book. And then on Friday nights, I'm teaching at the university. And on the weekends, I'm working at the yacht club. So I have no life, and I'm a mom, and I have a 1-year-old baby.
Yeah, well, that could be the hobby you guys didn't know. Aside from all the work that she's squeezing in hobby time, she also has a baby. Yeah. So that was a lot from current projects, past projects. So I know this may be a very hard question for you because you definitely have achieved a lot of different things. Can you pinpoint like your proudest day in yachting, or like one thing you're like, that was me?
I think my proudest day will be when I launch my book. So my proudest day is yet to come. Right now, I have a vision, and I'm just super focused, and I'm just like, you know, I just really, really want to finish it. But I mean, looking back, I started with the YPY, Young Professionals in Yachting, in Fort Lauderdale, and then in Monaco, and then yeah, I think. This was the idea that I wanted to just learn, and I wanted to know how does paint work and how does insurance work, and then I wanted to start organizing this association where people can just share what they do. And this industry is not what you know but who you know, so I wanted to, everything that I needed would just be like one phone call away. So this is why I started with YPY, which now is a global association, and yeah, it's super great to see what it became. In terms of what I've been proud of, I mean, I've sold some new build projects, some big yachts. I've done a lot of refits. So in terms of sales track record, I am also, super proud at what 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 have I achieved. But I'm looking forward for my next goal, and I think once I'm done with that, then that is going to be my proudest day.
So we'll put a pin on that one because it just keeps going and going. So that's amazing.
This is the problem. Once you have a goal, then you set up another goal. Like I remember after my MBA, I'm like, this is it, because I'm this like, overachiever, kind of like a goal addicted. And then after my MBA, I was like, this is it. I'm gonna calm down, and after this, because I put myself into really high levels of stress. And I was like, after this, I'm really going to have like a downhill type of lifestyle. And then
So yeah, I've had many of those like, yes, I made it. And then like a month later, I was like, okay, now I'm bored. Now let's teach ourselves how to blog. Now I'm bored. Let's teach ourselves how to build a website. While I'm doing that was when I was building a yacht, because it was just like there was still more time, and actually now there was still more time, I would have nightmares that I wasn't doing enough.
yeah.
So I'm sure you get those as well. We already got some great advice from you, and so many of your projects are already helping new people and people in the industry to actually develop more of their knowledge. So we have tons of advice from you, but from your experience, maybe we can get some don'ts. Like if I'm new to the industry, these are typical things that newbies do that they should really not do.
Um, don't get drunk in business cocktails. I mean, our industry is very social, and you will always you need to remember that we are in the entertainment and leisure touristic industries, right? So a yacht, nobody needs a yacht. We're dealing with people's toys, and it's fun. So don't forget that it's fun, but be careful because, of course, because of the nature of it being fun, there's a lot of parties, events, and cocktails, but it's still business. So it doesn't matter if you're in a boat show or if you're in a cocktail or if you're in an event or an open house or whatever. There's always drinks and the bar is always open, but just pace yourself because it's very embarrassing when you see people in the industry that after 3-4 classes they're either talking too much or something that they shouldn't. So I mean, just always remember that you're still wearing your professional hat, and like you said, Andrea, in the beginning the industry is very small, and then you can it takes a lot of time to build a reputation, but it takes a second to destroy it. So yeah, just yeah.
That's great. I've heard a lot, especially from consultants, that, oh, you have these great luxurious like cocktail event that you have that was like, that is a work event masquerade as entertainment. You're always representing your brand. I also know from a couple of companies, even if they're like, blowout, this is a party for you guys. Whoever got drunk the next day at their like morning meeting, they would get a tap on the shoulder for the people that were not coming back because they overdid it at these, places where you can, like there's no.
Yeah, but the Monaco and Nacho as well, the people like end up in like hospitals and like like
What?
morning they're completely destroyed. Like it's a yacht show. It's 3 days that you need to represent yourself professionally. And then in Monaco, you just like everybody's like, oh, I'm so hungover, oh, I'm so tired, and they're not performing and they're not giving their best because they're tired and they're hungover. And I think this is just such a lack of professionalism. I don't respect that.
No, I think that's great advice, especially like you said, it's not a one-day event. 3 days events at the show, but if you're really in their business, you'll have follow-up meetings and follow-ups. So it's not like you're done. And by the way, there is no amount of water that will bounce back your skin for hydration, and you will be in photo ops throughout the whole time. So be mindful, because we will take that picture and put it on social media. Marcela, thank you so much for all your advice and all your insights. We keep going for hours and hours with everything. That's why she's writing a book.
I hope it's coming up at the end of December. So I think everybody in yachting should read it, because I find, like, when I speak to people, like, for example, charter brokers don't really understand anything about yacht design. People yacht design don't understand the life of the shipyard, and there's a lot of terminology, vocabulary. There's a lot of things. So I think, like, if you want to succeed in the yachting industry, then you need to study it. And then the problem with the yachting industry is that there is no reference, so there is nothing else. So this is the first time that you can actually, like, have a book and you can learn about it. And but it's also great for crew that want to move land days, or for yacht owners that want to really understand the entire process and who's behind it and the entire industry behind their yacht. So yeah, stay tuned, and it's coming up soon.
Yeah, well, we can't wait. We'll definitely have another talk to promote this book tour. Yes. Well, Marcela, thank you so much. I cannot wait. As a scoop, Marcela will be interviewing me shortly, so I am very nervous. Thank you for agreeing for that.
You will do great, and I look forward to it, as always.
Thanks. Okay, guys, see you next time. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to YachtFemme. If you like what you heard, please like, subscribe, and comment. Your comment will help us reach a broader audience. And don't miss the next episode. Bye!